What would you say or describe as your best experience in trading? The moment where, really gave you the buzz and you feel like, I'm beginning to succeed. What's your best experience?
Oh, that's a tough one, James. I think it's more of a mental thing. I think it's sort of getting to a point where I don't feel that FOMO anymore, and I do feel like the market is here. Tomorrow it's going to be here next week. I don't need to rush into any trades. There's
Yeah.
always going to be opportunities. If I miss this one, there's another one, and just being sort of patient with it.
Hello there. This is James, and you're watching PipFarm. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. So please welcome a good friend, Von. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, James. And yourself, mate?
Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. It's still quite hot and sunny in Cyprus, so I'm still sweating a little bit. But other than that, I'm not too bad. So, my friend, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from?
Yeah, no worries, mate. So I am from Brisbane, Australia. It's currently actually 11:30 p.m. So I do apologize if am speaking incoherently a little bit. It has been a long day.
Yeah.
I still do have a day job, and I do trade, around my day job. But ultimately, the vision and the dream is that trading will become one of my core strategies to get me out of a day job in time. So I'm currently, working on that. My trading journey, I probably started trading back in 2016 and 17. I got into, the crypto side of things.
Right.
I was quite interested in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I was actually interested in the technology and in how it could be a technology that could be used as a hedge to the currency devaluation and all the mess that's happening around the world. And then from that point onwards, I actually got into trading in the crypto market and altcoins. Sort of rode that crypto boom, rode it all the way back down like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Actually, from crypto, I went into forex trading. So I know a lot of people went, the other way. They had experience in share trading and forex, and then went into crypto because it probably moves a lot quicker and the volatility was a lot higher. But for me, I kind of went the other way. I thought, crypto, there's a lot of scams, there's a lot of rug pulls. But whereas with traditional forex market, you don't have that kind of volatility. You don't have those same level of concerns around the credibility of the currencies. In saying that, we're in interesting times at the moment, and the currencies are moving in ways that are more volatile. And as we're moving into uncertain times with the economy and potential war as well. All that gets factored in. So yeah. Sorry, I
was going to say how you got started in trading. You told me already. That's brilliant. Now, like I say, you went from crypto to forex. Did you do retail trading, or have you only ever done prop trading?
I did a little bit of retail, but I found a lot of appeal with the prop trading side of things. Okay. And I only got into prop trading probably about 5 or 6 months ago. And I've been quite deep in this space. My brother actually got me into it. He sort of found out about it and he shared it with me. And then we've kind of just been in a rabbit hole since then. And it's interesting because I don't think I've heard anyone in my circle talk about it. Maybe it's just not that big in Australia. It'll be pretty interesting to hear from your side if you have a lot of Australian clients as well. But I haven't heard of many people, even when I look at the payouts on the different prop firms. I haven't seen many Australian traders getting payouts. So it's definitely not something that's well known or popular on my side of the world, from what I know, unless everyone's doing it and not telling me.
I think it's quite a new concept, and I think when I started out in trading, I dealt a lot with Australia, and I know Australians are one of the top countries for trading. Actually, I think it's the US, and then it's the UK, then it's Australia. So it's very popular with investing on that. How many prop firms have you traded with?
Probably around 8 or 9 now.
8, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you've had recent success, obviously, with PipFarm, I understand.
Yes, I've had recent success with PipFarm in particularly in October. So we're
Yeah.
looking at four pretty good payouts, and yeah, my experience with you guys have just been phenomenal
Brilliant.
so far. I have no complaints in terms of how you guys have designed your product and your service.
Hmm.
How you guys communicate with your clients, your rules, even with your recent changes in the introduction of new rules and how you guys are managing that change, the comms. It's been second to none, James, and
Brilliant.
big kudos to you. One thing about PipFarm is you guys allow traders to have that freedom and peace of mind that I haven't experienced with other prop firms. I always feel like I'm worrying about the trading, like with other prop firms. I'm worrying about the trading, but I have another set of concerns around the credibility and
Mm.
will I get payouts, have I done something wrong, or is there a random introduction of changes to requirements that that's going to impact my payout. And sometimes the changes don't even get communicated. It gets communicated through Discord, and suddenly the rules are just implemented overnight and applied retrospectively. Things like that just cause a lot of stress, particularly for a trader like me. I'm not monitoring Discord 24/7. I'm trying to do it in between my day job. So, sometimes I feel like I've got two full-time jobs.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's tough, but I see the opportunity. I see the appeal in this space,
Mm.
and that's why I'm here.
That's brilliant. That's really, really, it's really good to hear as well that you're having a great experience with us. Because I think, when it comes to trading, it's all about trust and having a good, relationship and
Yeah.
experience. Because you don't get to meet a lot of people face to face in this industry, so you do need that trust. And it's nice to hear that you really are getting a really good experience with us. As you started off in trading, like we all do, we make mistakes. Okay. I was just wondering what sort of mistakes you made in the past, those sort of failures. You look back on it, I'm glad I've made those mistakes because I've learned so much from them. What sort of mistakes do you think you made initially when you first started?
You mean, are you talking about specifically in the prop firm
I,
trading
I'm
space?
talking about in trading in general, sort of mistakes you look back on and go, I'm glad I made that mistake because I've learned so much from it.
Yeah. I think risk management is always
Yeah.
the number one thing. Really understanding, what your risk tolerance is, and when you're going into a
Mm.
trade, what is your exit strategy? Are you trading with emotion, or do you actually have a strategy? I think one thing that the prop firm space is actually pretty good at is actually improving people's trading skills.
Yeah.
The rules are actually there to guide people to become better traders. So by being in this space, I've actually found myself improving as well,
Hmm.
and being very, very specific about what I'm doing, and where I'm setting my stop losses. So that's definitely one thing I've learned, and just being less sort of scatterbrained in terms
Yeah.
of oh, this looks like a good setup, that looks like a good setup. Maybe developing a really good understanding of a few pairs. I love trading gold. I love trading CAD, JPY.
Okay.
Those are probably my favorite two to trade.
Yeah.
I do venture out of it, those at times, but I generally do gravitate towards those because I feel like I've got a good grasp of those pairs,
Yes.
and it just feels familiar. And the more I look at a chart, the more I feel like I've got a good understanding of it.
Mm.
What makes it move? Is there high impact news? Is there something that's going to impact the price? Is it certain trading sessions
Yeah.
that really make this pair tick? Do prices set up in a particular way
Yeah.
in this session as opposed to another session?
Yeah.
Little things like that that you really, really pick up when you look at one chart and one instrument long enough.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have no strategy and you're just going at everything, I feel like you're missing an opportunity there.
Mhm. I think you made a really valid point there, actually, because I think when you found a couple of assets which you just focus on them solely instead of looking across, because basically, if we're looking at the market watch, it's confusing. You've got everything moving. So, like, you can see a sudden spike in the euro dollar, but if you don't know the euro dollar, you have the FOMO, fear of missing out, you might jump in. But when you pick two particular pairs and just concentrate on those pairs only, I think you are in a lot better position to try and achieve success because you're not getting too confused or too ran around. And plus, you said gold, and I love gold. So you're in good company there. As your journey's progressed, what sort of skills do you think you picked up on, or have learned, or sort of like honed and improved upon?
Yeah, I think just having a bit of a checklist or a
Hmm.
process when it
Yeah.
comes to trading.
Yes.
Having a bit more of a system when
Hmm.
it comes to the trading, as opposed to, oh, I feel like throwing $1,000 at this and buying that or selling this.
Yeah.
That's like a good setup. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Like having a discipline. Tracking and journaling. Yeah, it's funny because these things seem like they're not directly trading, but it's all the things around the trading
Hmm.
that make it
Yeah.
important. So, and then once I've got all those things sorted, actually going into the chart and having a checklist. Looking
Hmm.
at having following through with my strategy. I'll look at the market structure. I'll look at
Yeah.
the trend. The support and resistances, and whether it's there's any patterns that I gravitate towards,
Hmm.
using indicators, really testing different indicators and
Yeah.
finding the indicators that work for you,
Yeah.
that finding the different indicators that might have confluences with each other,
Yeah.
to create your own narrative. For me, like I love looking at patterns. I love looking at head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders, cup and
Hmm.
handle. I love those ones. I love looking at exhaustion
Yeah.
when price gets exhausted, touching a little bit on fundamental analysis at times, not so much, more
Hmm.
technical to be honest.
Hmm.
And then, when I do enter, it's do a little bit of candlestick analysis as well. So starting from that higher time frame, I do start from the 4 hour, and then I sort of zoom out to the daily, and then I zoom right back into the hourly. So that's kind of like my order of things
Yeah.
I trade.
I think, like I say, again, you touched on something very, very important. Like a checklist, and clearly you've just taken me through a bit of your checklist where you look at the 4 hour and then you go back on a daily. And you look for like head and shoulder patterns, which is brilliant. I think it's necessary to do your checklist. I mean, do you do the checklist first, like fill in all the boxes before you click trade now? That's the sort of thing you do. Is that right? That's brilliant.
Yeah, look, it's not like I've got like a checklist printed out on a piece of paper and I
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
tick it.
yeah. I get you.
At the moment, it's more of a mental checklist.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I do track is the risks that I'm
Hmm.
taking, the profit to sort of risk to reward ratios, and
Hmm.
what hasn't worked. So I try to keep a mental journal, a bit of a journal of things that my trades and things that have worked, things that haven't worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. And again, you were absolutely right about discipline. That is incredibly, incredibly important. So you're absolutely right. What would you say or describe as your best experience in trading? The moment where, really gave you the buzz and you feel like, I'm beginning to succeed. What's your best experience?
Oh, that's a tough one, James. I think it's more of a mental thing. I think it's sort of getting to a point where I don't feel that FOMO anymore, and I do feel like the market is here. Tomorrow it's going to be here next week. I don't need to rush into any trades. There's
Yeah.
always going to be opportunities. If I miss this one, there's another one, and just being sort of patient with it, and knowing that there's going to be future opportunities, and also being able to weave trading into my life as well.
Hmm.
I think is an achievement as well, because I think the barrier of entry to trading is quite high.
Hmm.
Especially if you want to do it successfully. I think a lot of people, go into trading, they lose a few trades or they lose a
Yeah.
lot of money, and then they'll be like, oh, this is not for me.
Yeah.
But having the right mindset, having the right
Yeah.
psychology, the right process and endurance, I think there's a lot of opportunities in this space.
Hmm.
So again, it's not like, oh, this one trade
Yeah.
that I made a lot of money. I don't think it's about that. It's about that longevity of being able to stay in this game. I think I can do that, sort of given my experience now. I think that is the biggest achievement
Yeah.
to this day.
You knocked the nail on the head, mate. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Trading is. So
Correct.
you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. How would you say trading so far has impacted your life?
So many good questions. I think I look at my mistakes that I've made,
Yeah.
and I always think I could have done something better. The mistakes I've made, it's always because I've done something wrong, or
Hmm.
I've rushed into something. I haven't followed my mental checklist. I take full responsibility
Hmm.
of all of my mistakes, but I can also celebrate all the achievements that I've made. And a lot of things in life, it's hard to to take full accountability on.
Yeah.
Whereas trading is one of those things where everything is on me.
Yeah.
Full control
Yeah.
over my success or failure, and it's not down to luck anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's not about one trade going
Yeah.
up or down.
Yeah.
It's about the longevity of it, and can I stick to my system? Can I have that patience? Can I have that delayed gratification to succeed? So I think again, it's not about that one trade. It's about everything around it.
Growth. Yeah. Growing with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's brilliant. I mean, you're right about accountability as well. Okay, because that's the most important thing. So many people don't take accountability for their actions, and when they lose, they blame the broker or blame the market. They don't blame themselves or look at themselves, and then by not doing that, they never grow or never learn. So you're absolutely spot on. Moving forward, what are your future plans?
My future plans, definitely leveraging trading as a platform. For me to get out of my day job.
Right.
So I've been sort of planning this for the past 6 months now. I've got a baby coming along.
Oh, congratulations! Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm kind of like looking at these next 5 months.
Yes.
As my make or break.
Okay.
I need to prove that I can be sustainable through my system, and then once my kid comes, the dream would be I can just trade from home.
Yeah.
If I'm not quite there yet, then I can pick up some part-time contracting work while dedicating more time to trading. Yeah. That's kind of like my backup. Obviously, ideally, I'd love to be at home on a more full-time basis to be with family. I'm really hoping that the prop firm industry survives and continues to grow. I do, kind of like you said, it is quite a new industry, is my understanding, and things are moving very, very quickly. Things seem to be changing a lot, and I just hope that these changes result in a more sustainable market over the long term. And that it doesn't get banned in Australia. The whole prop firm scene, getting banned in the US for a little bit. That's a bit concerning.
Yeah.
There's definitely some uncertainties and some concern around that. Yeah. So just the next 6 months will be very telling in terms of whether this can be a life-changing source of income for me.
Well, I really hope you succeed. But by the sound of things, so far in our conversation, your outlook, your discipline, your approach to trading, I have no doubt you're on a pathway to success, my friend. I really, really, really don't doubt that for a second. And congratulations again for the up and coming little arrival of your child. Is it your first child? Is it your first baby? That's brilliant, mate. That's brilliant. Well, congratulations. That's another journey in itself. With many peaks and troughs, ups and downs, supports and resistance, but it's a fantastic, rewarding journey. What would you, if someone came to you and said, look, I'm thinking of starting a trading, brand new to it, what would be your advice to them?
Oh, that's another tough one. I think the first thing would be just to learn the fundamentals a little bit. I still remember, reading the Baby Pips website, going through all those different chapters and understanding what margin is and all of that, and not to rush into it. Again, the market isn't going to disappear overnight. Prop firms may go down, companies may go down, but the market is always going to be there. So don't rush into it, and don't put too much capital into it to start off with. Start small, learn the ropes, and stick with trading one or two instruments or pairs first, and maybe even do some paper trading. That will allow you to learn the different trading platforms. There might be certain trading platforms that are more suited to you. I think you just got to find your way in this market, because there's so many different approaches that one can take. You have to know yourself very well in order to find the right type of trading and the right style of trading. Are you a long-term trader? Are you a swing trader? A day trader? A scalper? How does that mesh in with your life? If you're not coming in with a bit of a plan on how you want to tackle it, then this would be similar to you going to a casino and just putting $50 on red or black on roulette, But whereas, if you do see this as an opportunity that you can integrate into your life, yeah, you need to think really, really deeply about those things. Who are you as a person, and what type of trader can you be, and how often can you trade? What are your long-term goals with this industry? Yeah, that's kind of the high-level advice I'll give.
That's absolutely fantastic advice. I agree with every single word. And like you said, ideally, we're talking about baby steps into the market as well. You're absolutely right. Perfect advice, actually. Absolutely spot on. It's almost like I'm looking in the mirror, because exactly what I would say. One final question. And I always ask this question every interview, because I'm a bit quirky and a bit of a character. I'm obviously a very eccentric Englishman. What would you say is your favorite film about trading? I ask this question every interview. Just always fascinating. What's your favorite film about trading?
I think the Big Short. I think that one just comes to mind.
Every time I've asked that question, everybody's always said The Big Short. The Big Short.
Yeah,
I mean, there's another vote for The Big Short. I mean, why The Big Short in particular? Is it just because it's the one that stands out, or?
Yeah, I think so. I would say I don't know like too many.
Yeah.
So that's probably where my downfall is.
Yeah.
But look, if you've got some really, really good ones out there, please, I'm all ears, mate.
one of my favorite, actually, one of my favorites. I'm doing a new series actually for the YouTube channel where I'm talking about films about trading and how I can relate to them from my experiences and personal and trading experiences. So I always like Trading Places. Not really a film about trading, but it introduced me to trading. And it's a perfect Christmas movie as well. But there's plenty. I mean, Margin Call's really good as well. But yeah, there's plenty. Look out for the series and check it out. Anyway, Bon, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, especially bear in mind it's 11 p.m. where you are. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to come and talk to me and share with me about your journey and your experiences so far. So many things you've said is absolutely perfect advice. And I think you're absolutely spot on. And I think the way your outlook is and the way you're looking at your future goals, I have no doubt you will succeed it. I will really do. I really believe you will succeed everything you're setting out to. And once again, congratulations on the baby. I'm really pleased for you. Anyway, everybody, please, and thank you for people watching, of course, and listening. Please put in the comments below what you think of Bon's journey so far, and share your own experiences in your own trading journey. Again, a special thanks to Bon. Thank you so much, my friend. Have yourself a cracking evening. Anyway, till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.